I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you want to sign up for college or something?
No, our next meeting is on November 29th to the 30th. That will also be the GISS.
Okay, we'll go back up where I should have been. The approval of the minutes. Somebody make a motion for that.
I so approve.
Second.
All in favor of such motion, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Everybody approves the minutes. Okay, we now have a report from the Central Arizona College President, Dr. Elliott.
Thank you, Madam President. Greetings to everyone this afternoon. I have a few things to share with you from the district-wide update. Last week, the college was awarded Advocate of the Year by the Arizona Manufacturing Council for our efforts in the development of the Arizona Advanced Technologies Corridor. So that was a really nice honor. Also recently this month, the welding department received an $80,000 donation in equipment from a national welding company. So we're really excited about that. The college has been asked to submit an application for an Innovation Award through the Associated General Contractors of America for the Sun Partnership that we have developed. And the winners will be announced in February, and if we are fortunate enough, there's a monetary prize associated with that. So we're really excited about that opportunity for the college. Several members of the college will be participating as speakers tomorrow at the 30th Annual Pinal County Town Hall, or actually that's going to be on Thursday. Another big exciting news front thing to share with you is the college has developed a new partnership with Resolution Copper to do an apprenticeship program. And this in industrial maintenance, it will begin in January of 2018, so we're really excited about that. The college has also earned a 2018 Military Friendly School designation. We just received that information earlier this week, so we're really proud of that designation. And the timing couldn't have been better with the CVETs check came in the mail yesterday too, so our veterans programs are really getting ready to become stronger. Throughout the month of November, we will hold events at each campus to honor and celebrate our veterans, and this information on when the events are for each campus can be found on the website. And Fry's Marketplace in Apache Junction is opening a new store, and they're going to be presenting us, the college, a check of $5,000 as part of their ribbon cutting ceremony on October 27th at 7 a.m. And the last thing I want to share with you is the foundation will be holding, I'm not going to say its first ever, but revived annual event, fundraising event that will be held on November 9th. And so we want to make sure everyone gets that on their calendars. That's going to be an exciting opportunity. We have 3 correspondences that we received. A letter from Harris Akchin expressing gratitude for the assistance provided by Ann Mitchell at her hiring event. A letter from Supervisor Pete Rios thanking us for getting the lift station working at Arabica campus. And then also in there is the letter from Fry's announcing the gift to the college of the $5,000. And that concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Dr. Elliott? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Wadka, I believe you're up next. Monthly budget report.
Thank you and good afternoon, Madam Chair, governing board members, Madam President, Madam Secretary, colleagues, guests, students in attendance. I'd like to go over 3 items actually. One would be the monthly budget reports, 2 is the awards purchases over $20,000, and the third one would be a verbal report on the ERP, a little progress report. So the first thing is the monthly budget reports. In your packets are the reports for the month of September 2017. which shows the district's general fund expenditures and committed funds are about 75.56% of the total budget. This is a 3.83% increase from September of a year ago, which was at 71.73%. So currently we're 1 quarter completed into our new fiscal year. You'll see the percentages I mentioned at the last retreat due to the changes in the expenditure limitation and the amount of dollars that we have budgeted. The percentages aren't going to be as key to look at from year to year because it's not going to be a true apples to apples comparison. We're going to be closer to the 100% this year and moving forward than we have in the past. Any questions on the budget? Second item is the awarded purchases over $20,000. First one is AccuPlacer units for placement testing, College Board, Staten Island, New York, $27,787.50, and that is to purchase the placement tests for the district. Second item is telephone services, CenturyLink, Phoenix, Arizona, $70,000. That's also to purchase telephone services for the district. Next one is the JD 2025R tractor and JD H130 loader. A tractor loader, that is one piece of machinery, Deere and Company out of Moline, Illinois, $20,541.88, and that is a utility tractor that's going to be used at by the facilities department at the Maricopa and the Santan campuses. Next one is eight golf carts, Robinson Golf Cart Supply, Apache Junction, Arizona, $31,953.23. Those are golf carts that are purchased for the facilities department and also the warehouse. ASL Interpreting Services, Arizona Freelance Interpreting Services out of Gilbert, Arizona, $25,200. That is to purchase interpreting services for the district. And the last one, Pole Vault Landing, United Canvas and Sling Incorporated out of Lincolntown, North Carolina, $20,535.90. And that is to purchase the pole vault landing system for the track here at the Signal Peak campus. Any questions on our...
Questions or comments for Mr. Webka?
And then the last thing is a quick ERP update. Moving on to future months, we'll put something in the packet in writing. But since the update, since the presentation at the September meeting, a couple of quick points here that for the last 30 days, we've completed both spin cycles number 4 and 5 with 100% scenario test coverage. Spin cycle number 6, which is the last cycle now before we go live on the registration system. The validation testing is in progress. The finance module configuration is to begin in October. It actually started this morning. It's a full week of configuration on the finance module. CAC also created and distributed pre-go live training schedules, which is introduction to the Nexus system, which is login verification and also navigation training, faculty portal training, advising portal training, admissions portal training. We've also had functional walkthrough sessions that were scheduled and distributed this past month for financial aid, student accounts, admissions, and academic support. Next, we did continued functional workflow processing and reporting strategy discussions with HR, payroll, and academics related to enrollment management, faculty load management, assignment of contracts management, compensation management, and reporting management. The student general ledger, budget transfers, stipends, refunds, and segregation from Nexus to the Banner system that was delivered and installed in our training environment. We adjusted the Active Directory for the student email creation that was deployed and in quality assurance phase at the moment. The DubLabs mobile app integration was delivered and completed. Combined the student application and housing form that is deployed and also now in the quality assurance phase. We had a billing method completed, which actually deployed in the quality phase. Financial aid advisor assignment deployed in the quality assurance phase. Registration packaging, and also prerequisites and courses and 25 live scheduling resource integration all has been deployed and is in development. So that's just a quick update on the ERP system for the last 30 days. Any questions on that?
Questions or comments?
Okay,
Thank you very much. with academic affairs and student services report. Oh, and Dr. Cody. So what you got with Dr.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mrs. Christensen, Governing Board, Dr. Elliott, colleagues, students, and guests. Thank you for having us here today. What we're going to talk about is the CAC and ASU transfer partnership that we have. And Dr. Gillen and I will both share information on that. I do want to let you know for the presentation that you have in your packet, the information is all the same, but we did reorganize a couple slides just so you are aware that it will be a little bit different. But what we'd like to share is we have our Dr. Maria Hesse comes from ASU and presents to us to let us know kind of how the partnership has been going, the number of degrees that have been awarded, our transfer numbers of students from CAC to ASU. And this is a follow-up to her visit, which was several weeks ago. She met with many different staff and faculty to share information. So the first slide really shows you kind of what we're going to be, oh, I have it, sorry. All right. That CAC and ASU, this memorandum of understanding was signed in 2009 when the TAG agreements were created. And a little bit later, we'll talk about what TAG actually means. The goal is to create a culture of transfer for students to transfer seamlessly from from CAC to ASU. And Dr. Hesse, as I indicated, does come in and provide an annual progress report so that we're aware of how our students are doing and how many students are in the pipeline. So the next slide shows you ASU has two different ways of determining if a student has transferred from CAC. One, they look at the number of students who have earned 12 credits or more from CAC prior to transferring. And the second is students who attended CAC prior to transferring. So it kind of gives us a picture of students who have completed 12 or more credits, and then students who took maybe one or two courses at CAC prior to transferring. The next kind of gives you a picture of both from 2009 to now, the number of students in both of those categories, and also the percentage of change over the last several years. So beginning, as you can see, in 2009, we had 122 students that transferred with 12 or more credits, and now as of last year, we had 144 students in that same group, which was an 18% change. And then looking at the number of students who transferred with CAC as their last institution, number has jumped up to 120 students, which is 45% increase. And looking at the students who may have taken less than 12 credits prior to transferring, some of what that tells us is it might have been some of our students in our local high schools who took courses while they were in high school and then transferred upon graduation. But what we'd like to share as we move forward, and I will give you one other slide of transfer data, but is really looking at how our students do when they transfer, which will help us to focus on students and their completion prior to heading to the university. And the next really shows kind of a stable number. These are students who transferred from CAC but were in fully online programs at ASU when they transferred. So the number has been pretty stable over the last several years. And now Dr. Elliott will talk to you about results and what the TAG agreements are.
No.
I said Dr. Elliott. Dr. Gillen, I apologize. Unless you'd like to.
No, I'm just going to reintroduce myself, that's fine. So, good afternoon, everybody. I won't repeat all the greetings, but it's very nice to be here. So, I'm just going to continue on. There are some strong benefits of these agreements, the TAG agreements. For our students, which is guaranteed transfer. They actually get immediate access to ASU email and resources once they sign that agreement, even while they're a CAC student. So it helps them to begin to think of themselves as an ongoing student who is doing their associate's degree here with us, but intending to transfer on. And I think part of the intent of this program is that it really helps focus the students on that longer term goal and keep them on that pathway. The students also receive a lot of regular communication from ASU, including communication from the student ambassador. So again, helping them to feel like there is a future for them. They are CAC students and very much involved with us, but they also will continue on and they have a clear idea of where they're going to go. And we do have evidence that the students who are on this kind of a pathway succeed at higher rates than the students who don't have any kind of agreement or any clear idea of where they're headed. And so it may be partly that psychological mindset. They know that they have a plan, and also partly because they know very clearly what they need to take in order to make that transition. So their choices are a lot clearer. Okay, and I just put this right. Which one? Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Not surprisingly, the two most popular transfer pathways for this past year were the BSN in nursing and the Bachelor in Education and Elementary Education. So those are two really strong pathways. Oops, well that didn't work. Can you just rescue that for me? Thank you. Okay. On this slide, we've actually combined some numbers, and I have a spreadsheet that shows year by year what the retention rate is for students after the first year at ASU, the students who transfer from us with an agreement, and then their graduation rates. Oftentimes, it does take a little bit more than 2 years for them, so graduation rates after 3 years and graduation rates after 5 years is what we have summarized here. We have a more extensive breakdown, but I was trying to keep things simple for the slides so we don't get confused by too many numbers. But so this is an average number of students from 2010 to 2015, but I do want to make the point that there was an increase over the years, so that in the first year of the agreement in the 2010 reporting period, there were many fewer students who were retained and who graduated, and that's increased pretty significantly over the years. And we can provide that complete set of data for you as well. This is the lower division transfer. So these are students who are transferring without having completed, without having fully completed an associate's degree with us. They have the agreement, the tag agreement, but they have not completed all of the courses that they could take with us. They transfer anyway, and ASU is tracking them. It's still a pretty good retention and graduation rate, but when we move to the students who are upper division, who are transferring as upper division students, who clearly have done what they needed to do with us, their retention rate is much higher. The average retention rate is close to 90%, and in the most recent year, it is over 90%. And their graduation rates are significantly higher. So this shows that this is a fairly successful partnership for our students in that it helps them make that transition. Oops. And this is actually shows a breakdown of the number of students who have received bachelor's in arts or bachelor's in science from ASU who have come from Central Arizona College over a number of years. Unfortunately, the last year that was reported in this set of information for us was 2014-15. Dr. Hesse had not gotten the most recent information to us, and I think it takes a while to go back in and dig through and calculate exactly which of those recipients are CAC transfers, especially using the two different systems that they use. But you can see that there's a real progression, actually more than double the numbers from 2009 to the most recent year reported. So are there any questions from the group? Yes, Dr. Banks.
Madam Chair, President, can you revert back to page 2 that shows new transfers to ASU, well, the two modes of transfer?
You want me to go back to that? Yes. Are you going to move that back? Can you move that back for me, please? We want to go back to the slide that has the two modes of transfer calculation.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Page 2.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. My first question is the percent change. Are you using 2009-10 and as the denominator, and then in the numerator you have 216 to 217 minus 2009-10?
That sounds like it should be. I did the calculations for the averages, but this is math that I got from Dr. Hesse and just trusted, so that we got from Dr. Hesse. So I believe that would be the, what does that not add up? I am not doing it in my head right now.
It is, I did the.
It is, okay, good, thank you.
Okay, thank you. The second thing is, this is very interesting because you have students with 12 or more credits charging on to ASU. The new transfers to ASU, the people, let's take 2009 to 2010, you have 83 people. Are those 83 people in any way inserted in the 122 group?
It's possible. These are just two different ways that they use to calculate, and they don't mix these calculations when they come up with their final numbers, but they track students in two ways. In the first column, they're tracking all students who have at least 12 credits from Central Arizona. Those students may not go directly from Central Arizona, and one of the groups, for example, that sometimes goes to a second community college as an intermediary would be students in engineering pathways. They can take their very basic courses with us, but if they want to take 200 level engineering courses before going to a four-year college, they often go to Mesa Community College or Chandler Gilbert, who have those courses. They have larger populations. So we do know that we actually have cohorts of students that go to Chandler Gilbert or Mesa for that second year. And so those would be represented there. They're not going directly from us, but they have 12 or more credits from us. They started with us, and that's one way of counting CAC students. The second one is, it's just the last institution that they attended. So they may or may not have started with us, but they transferred from us directly. So when she presented the data to us, these were tracked as different measures.
Right. I
So.
set up those models 10 years ago.
Okay.
Or 10 years ago, excuse me, I'm not
Yeah.
200 yet. Okay, the last thing, now you may or may not have done it, don't feel guilty if you haven't, but have you looked at a transcript of a student who completes 12 credits here and moves to ASU versus one that hops in and hops out? So they may have less than 12 credits.
Oh, somebody who's maybe taken 6 credits with us and then transfers very quickly. No, we have not. I have not. We haven't looked at that in particular. But thank you. That would actually be a good thing to look at to see what might be going on if somebody starts with us maybe just one semester and then moves forward.
The reason I bring this up is this was the last part of my evaluation I wanted to do and didn't have time, and it would be interesting to see what they're jumping into, picking up for credits, and what they're hopping out to ASU versus staying here for a core of 12 credits.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. So we can convey that to Dr. Hesse, and maybe she can help us with some of that at their end. Or we can also look at it at our end and see what our students are doing. That could be quite an interesting project. So, yeah, thank you.
And, well, this is the last question. Did Dr. Hesse break these groups down by discipline? Like, for example, 122 students transferred to ASU with 12 or more credits. Into what programs did they transfer?
We did have additional information that was broken down by discipline, but it wasn't CAC specific. It was really just looking at the transfer pathways that students in general take in Arizona. So, we didn't include that in this particular one. But again, that's information we could maybe request for the next round.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's a very good report.
Thank you.
If I could ask a question also, please.
Sorry. Yeah.
And I'm trying to make heads nor tails of the data. I see slight fluctuations from year to year. And I've been trying to attribute those to something that's happening in the community or in the economy that might cause that fluctuation. I don't even know if the if the fluctuation is just normal or whether it's due to outside influences. Have we looked at a standard deviation, or have we been able to tie these fluctuations to anything, or is it just normal?
Yeah, my thought is, first of all, we haven't really done additional statistical measures on any of this. I think the numbers are, I mean, they're good numbers, but they're also relatively small. So it probably wouldn't give us a lot of data. So for example, we have some numbers that bounce around a little bit. It goes on the left-hand column from 151 to 167, back down to 144. And that looks to me like it may be reflecting some of those trends where we had really high enrollments just after the recession, sort of peaking around 2012 or so, maybe more of them transferring then, and then kind of tapering off a little bit. But overall, there's kind of a general trend towards more people over time. And I think that's what we were kind of focusing on. Yeah, PP Cardenas might have some more to say.
I think another thing for us to look at maybe in going back and looking at the data is what programs were in place at that time. Was there an additional program that might have been added that had an initial group of students that would have enrolled in that program? So I think there are several things that we could look at. But I agree that part of it being such small numbers is in relatively to be able to look at that might be difficult. But definitely for the programs and to see what programs were available at that time.
Those are all good questions that we can kick back and ask.
Just in part to answer Rick, I'm trying to remember what year this was. At ASU's Fulton School of Engineering, the dean decided that people could not transfer into a discipline that they would have to take a general track and then pick a field, in engineering. And so that, when I looked at, we had 10 colleges that the data I could trace, and I could see the numbers decreasing when policy decisions like that were made.
Thank you.
And just to follow up, part of what we've learned from this and what we've seen from transfers to other universities as well is this is information that we can share with students and families to help them to understand the benefit of finishing at a community college, of finishing their AJEC, if not definitely their associate's degree, and being able to show families and students and guidance counselors and whoever we have that comes in the CAC first, that the retention rates and the graduation rates of the students who do complete here are much higher. So it gives us data as well to be able to share with them. And that was one of the questions that we had at a recent guidance counselor and high school administrator workshop was how do we know that it's a benefit to our student to go to a community college first? So this gives us some of that data to help them to see the benefit of staying within the county and then transferring to the university of their choice that might have the program they're looking for.
Great.
Okay, so following on to that, the students that may go to ASU, as an example, and bypass CAC directly. Is there a discussion with the deans at ASU as if there's students that are having a little bit of difficulty recommending them come back to CAC to maybe get a couple of programs under their belt before they continue?
I can speak just from my personal experience with my own high schooler that left, and this was actually U of A rather than ASU, but did recommend a couple specific courses coming back to a community college and shared that the importance. He had finished the vast majority of his undergraduate at that point, or his AJEC courses at that point, but I know that was a recommendation directly from an advisor, and I think that's something that we see in general from the universities when they see students who might be struggling. We also have agreements with ASU in particular where they send transcripts back to us, students that we've had in the past who may have been just shy of graduating. They send transcripts back to us so that we can speak to the student about possibly awarding an associate's degree here, as well as the bachelor's degree when they complete it. So we do have that constant communication. Of course, it's difficult with universities that serve so many students, but I certainly do think that that's
I really care about ours.
absolutely. Any other questions?
Thank you. The next have our consent agenda. The following items are consent matters unless they are removed from the consent agenda at this time. Any item may be removed by any board member from this agenda. You had mentioned earlier that you wanted to,
Item 10, yeah, just a little more discussion on that, probably not much.
okay, let us remove that one. And does anybody else have one they would like to remove for further discussion? Okay, with the removal of item 10, is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion to approve?
Second,
Second.
all in favor of such motion, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay. Now, I believe we can discuss number 10. Would you like to bring up what is it now?
Well, I see the charts, and I thank you for going to the effort of putting that in, but I really wasn't clear on going from no cost for summer to 903, for instance, for the 7 credits, what the purpose of those were. And more on the, just a little more detail on the fee schedule.
Mr. Webb?
I'll try to answer it, and if not, Chris can come in and correct me. I think it's best to look at the tuition and fee schedule only on the right side, Dan, from this line over.
Okay.
Okay, because that was confusing to me a little bit at first. So what we had in the past was an agreement for a Western undergraduate education program. And basically, the minimum hours that students could take in that during the summer was 12. And that's why the pricing started at 12 credits over here at 1,548. And through discussions, taking 12 hours in the summer is very difficult, and we had very few students, I think maybe 9 or so students that were able to take advantage of this program because of the 12-hour requirement. It's just a lot of hours to take in the summer. So what we did is we said, well, let's open it up so they can take where 6 is the number of hours, and back the cost back down to where if you see 6, it's going to be $774. Whereas the student can come and get 6 hours for $774 instead of us mandating they take 12 hours for $1,500.
Okay, so did you get, are we expecting more students out of this?
I think that would be,
all or nothing?
yeah, I think that would be our expectation to track and see if we can get more students, because through benchmarking we found that other institutions didn't require the 12 hours in the summer. And so the 6 hours is hopefully going to be more doable, and plus it's less expensive at this point. So.
Right. So it would be 6 in the summer, and then they would get the difference in the regular semesters, not wait another to the next summer and do the next 6, right?
Probably not. I mean, the requirements say that they would still, for fall and spring, the minimum is 12 hours, and we're just changing it. Before we had, the minimum was, for fall, spring, and summer was 12, and now we're just backing the summer down to 6.
Okay.
I don't know if that answers your question.
I think it did, yes.
Okay. Did I do okay? Okay. Got the nod of approval from the experts, so thank you.
Okay, further questions, or was that a real answer for you?
That does it for that case.
Okay, would it be appropriate at this time to vote?
Take a motion.
Motion, okay. So is there a motion to approve number 10 of the consent agenda?
Motion to approve item 10.
Okay, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. It passes unanimously. Next on the agenda is the next board meeting is going to be November 21st at Superstition Mountain campus.
Yeah.
And there is a technology open house this evening, and I'm sure all of you are aware of that. All of the board is aware of that, and I think we're all invited. So, see you there. This meeting is adjourned.